Yes, indeed, guys. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jay Jordan, and I'm happy to say I just got back from Barclays not too long ago. It's pouring down rain outside, trees falling all over the tracks and whatnot, but we made it home. And I'm happy to say the Liberty actually snapped their two-game losing streak, beating the Phoenix Mercury at home. Final score 81 to 78. Liberty moved to a 5-2 record, 3-1 at home, and the Mercury moved to a 3-4 record, 1-3 on the road. As always, in these game recaps, I'll go over the game from my perspective, the box score, and then give some final thoughts at the end. So if you like this type of content and you want me to continue to create more of it, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and touch those noti bells, turn them to all so you get notified anytime I post. Salute. All right, so in this game, the Liberty coming in on a two-game losing streak, losing to Minnesota and Chicago. They lost to Chicago at home, lost to Minnesota on the road. The Phoenix Mercury were playing up in Connecticut. They were playing the Connecticut Sun the previous night. They lost that game, had a horrible game. I don't think they hit more than 3 threes in that game. It was probably they hit 1 3 in that game, and they shot probably 20 plus. So we knew they were coming into New York with a vengeance. Natasha Cloud didn't like how she went out against the Liberty in the playoffs when she was with the Mystics. So anytime she plays us, we know she's looking to bring it to us. So starting lineups for both teams: Liberty go with their usual Courtney Vandersloot, Sabrina Ionescu, Benijah Laney Hamilton, Breanna Stewart, and Jonquel Jones. The Mercury, they went with Natasha Cloud, Diana Taurasi, Kalia Copper, Sophie Cunningham, and Natasha Mack. Brittany Griner is still out with the foot injury. The injury slate for the New York Liberty was clean. All right, so the first quarter started off really well. The Liberty really were getting into their sets. They were being active on defense. They were hitting their threes for once, passing the ball. They weren't turning it over as much. And they jumped out to a big 33-20 lead, a 13-point lead in the first quarter. Coming off the back of that Minnesota loss is all you can ask for. The energy was high. Everybody was feeling good. And then what tends to happen with the Liberty in the second quarter, they go back to terrible ways. Bad shot selection. When the game starts getting tight, people start rushing. They start turning the ball over. People missing wide open shots. They get lost on defensive assignments. And the Mercury just chipped away. The Liberty went up as much as 15 in that second quarter, early in the second. But the Liberty between Kalia Copper and Natasha Cloud just chipped away, just kept chipping away, going to the line, forcing turnovers. And they got within 4 at halftime. So that the score at halftime was only a 4-point game. I think it was 44-40, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna verify that. No, it was 47-44, so it was even closer than I thought. It was a 3-point game at halftime. So, I'm like I was getting frustrated. I'm over here rubbing my face. Like, what? Like, we were just up 15. Why is it a 3-point game at this point in time? But we go to the third quarter. I'm like, all right, let's see how we can respond. Back and forth. We still had some terrible shots in that third quarter. People were just jacking up threes. Trying to recapture the magic of the first quarter, but it just wasn't happening. Diana Taurasi hit like 2 threes. One that she caught the rebound, just ran to the 3-point line, turned around, threw it up, and it went in. Kalia Copper was being aggressive. Natasha Cloud was attacking. And they actually took the lead in that third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. I think they went they took the lead and then we retook it with like a second left. Jonquel Vandersloot hits a layup and we go up 60-59 at the end of the third quarter. So we had actually lost the lead in that third. The fourth quarter was just a dogfight. We got people getting texts. It was between Kayla Thornton and Shug Sutton. Shug Sutton was trying to block Kayla Thornton from the jump ball, and they got into it. The crowd really got into it, and I think that gave the Liberty a little bit of energy, a little bit of feistiness, because they were down by about 3 or 4 points at that point. It was looking like we were on our way to our third straight loss, and that really jump-started the team. We got some timely baskets from Jonquel. Jonquel, I think, scored 10 to 12 points in the fourth quarter. We finally decided to use our big man in the paint, and she went to work on those pick and rolls with Sabrina. It was like a foul fest back and forth. The Mercury got into the bonus early, so they were shooting free throws a majority of the quarter. But thankfully, we were able to get a timely stop, and then Benijah comes down and hits like a contorting mid-range jump shot that happens to fall for us. It bounces around a bit and gives us a 4-point lead with about 30-ish seconds left, and we were able to hold on for a 3-point win after some free throws here and there. All right, so that was the end of the game from my perspective. Let's take a look at the box score. All right, so we got, for the Liberty, we had Courtney Vandersloot, played 26 minutes, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 of 10 from the field, which is terrible, 1 for 5 from 3, 1 for 2 from the line, a steal, 2 blocks, but she was a plus 13 in her minutes. 2 for 10 isn't going to get it done. She missed some layups. Those 4 threes, she missed wide open threes. We have to do something about that. Sabrina with 34 minutes, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists. She was all over the stat sheet. She did take some rushed threes, I thought. But for the most part, she was the one who was doing the majority of the scoring. She had the most turnovers with 4, a plus 3 in her minutes. Benijah Laney, always the defensive workhorse, guarding the best player. She was on Kalia Copper most of the night. Had her best scoring game in the last few games with 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. 6 of 11 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3. Did have 2 steals and a block, 4 fouls, and plus minus of 0. Breanna Stewart didn't look too great. I thought she should have we should have taken a lot of advantage of that matchup. No Rebecca Allen. She had Sophie Cunningham guarding her. She had 36 minutes, only had 13 points and 8 rebounds, 4 of 10 and 0 for 2 from 3 with 2 steals. But she had a plus minus of 7. And Jonquel Jones came alive in that fourth quarter, finished with 20 points, 7 rebounds, had 2 blocks. She didn't get in foul trouble early, so that really helped her to stay in the game. Our bench didn't really do anything today. Leonie Fabid, she played 13 minutes, missed all 3 of her threes. Plus minus a 10. Kayla Thornton got some 12 minutes, 3 points, hit her one 3-pointer that kept us in the lead in the second. Missed another wide open one, and then another one later on. -1 in her minutes. And Niara Sabali, 2 points, 4 rebounds in her 8 minutes of play, -4. Kennedy Burke, Leonie Fabich, and Marquisha Davis are the 3 players that did not get any minutes. For Phoenix, Natasha Cloud, like I said, she likes to play against us. 21 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. She even hit 3 of her 7 threes. Had a steal and a block as well. Diana Taurasi, 14 points, 4 of 10 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3. Kalia Copper with 20 points and 9 rebounds. She was going to the line at will, 6 for 7 from the free throw line with 2 steals for her as well. Sophie Cunningham, 9 points, hit some threes. And Natasha Mack, 4 points and 6 rebounds for her. Shug Sutton off the bench, 20 minutes, no points, but has 7 assists. Liz Dixon had 2 points and 2 rebounds. Morgan Birch had 5 points and 2 rebounds. And Harrigan had 3 points. Like I mentioned, Brittany Griner still injured, so she was not playing today. So let's get to my thoughts. The Liberty, like I mentioned, very great first quarter. Everybody scored in the first quarter. Very balanced attack. Wasn't taking rush shots like that. But the second quarter, when things started to get tight and we started incorporating the bench, there was a lot of slippage. Continued to try and hit the home run play instead of trying to go to the basket. Just got very complacent, just jacking up threes. Hence the 9 for 32 from 3-point range, which is not a good percentage. 28% from 3 is not going to get it done. The defensive intensity was better. The switching was good. There was a lot more communication I was seeing, but there were still some areas where I think we were just easily switching instead of allowing our players to fight over screens, because we still ran into issues where a small would be on a big. Thankfully, we didn't have Brittany Griner playing for the Mercury. We had Natasha Mack, who's not a prolific post presence, so she wasn't able to punish us for it. But when it comes to playing teams that have good bigs, we cannot continue to have Jonquel Jones out on the perimeter with Vandersloot or Ionescu trying to guard the center in the paint. It's a recipe for disaster. But otherwise, I like the tenacity we showed in the fourth quarter to fight back, the energy the crowd gave them when the players got into a little squabble there. And as I say, usually a win is a win. Like, I can't complain that we won, but I can complain of some of the play that we had during the game. Well, those are my thoughts for the game. Thankfully, the Liberty got the win to snap the 2-game losing streak. Next game for the Liberty is on Friday. Another game at home against the Washington Mystics. The Washington Mystics, I think, are the only team that haven't won a game yet. They're 0-7 as of tonight. I think they lost to the Atlanta Dream at home. All right, so on that note, guys, thank you for tuning in for this game's recap. Once again, the Liberty do win 81-78. Back in the win column, 5-2 overall record. Some things still to clean up, but we'll get there. It's still a long season to go. It's only 7 games we've played. We have 33 more games, and there's an Olympic break in there as well. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, hit those noti bells, and until next time, salute.